Hola, welcome everybody to the Blackberry Christ Church. You're gonna be having a whole lot of super duper nice warm words from our pastors and a lot of congregation. Welcome in, welcome all, come one.
Guys, welcome. And Nick, nice to have you taking Bungie's space there.
Yeah.
Managed to get rid of Bungie.
And John swapped places.
Yeah, swapped places, yeah. I teleported from there to here.
Okay. Hey, last time, yesterday, we spoke about the Donkey King. That was Monday.
Yes.
It's now Tuesday in Holy Week. We're getting closer to when our Saviour will be crucified. We spoke about the Donkey King. Nick, just, I thought, well, before we go, I'm sure as a dad you must have a good dad joke for us.
I wish I did. I wish I did. But did you say don-kicking?
Did I say donkey? Yes, probably. Donkey.
Donkey King. Okay, that's my dad joke.
It's relevant to yesterday, eh?
I can tell you just to irritate my family. I think I got this even from my father-in-law, so he's to blame. The dad joke: what do you get when you throw hot water into a rabbit hole? Hot cross bunnies.
Hot cross bunnies. Cue the laughter.
That was good. No, that was
Sorry about that. Do you want to cut that? Hey, listen, good to have you, Nick and John. We're going to look at, carry on in Mark 11. And our reading this time is verses 12 to 19. Nick, do you think you could read that for us?
I'll try. I'll see what I can manage. Mark 11, verse 12. The next day, as they were leaving Bethany, Jesus was hungry. Seeing in the distance a fig tree in leaf, he went to find out if it had any fruit. When he reached it, he found nothing but leaves, because it was not the season for figs. Then he said to the tree, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And his disciples heard him say it. On reaching Jerusalem, Jesus entered the temple courts and began driving out those who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those selling doves, and would not allow anyone to carry merchandise through the temple courts. And as he taught them, he said, "Is it not written, 'My house will be called a house of prayer for all nations'? But you have made it a den of robbers." The chief priests and the teachers of the law heard this and began looking for a way to kill him, for they feared him, because the whole crowd was amazed at his teaching. When evening came, Jesus and his disciples went out of the city. In the morning, as they went along, they saw the fig tree withered from the roots. Peter remembered and said to Jesus, "Rabbi, look, the fig tree you cursed has withered."
Well, guys, I don't know about you, but it's quite a remarkable story.
Sure.
I'm thinking back to what we did yesterday. It seems to be the tone seems to have changed slightly.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you pick that up, Hosanna to the highest. He's entering Jerusalem, you have the crowds. Now it's kind of, there's two things here, a fig tree and a temple. And Jesus is, well, what do you think of this?
Yeah, there's a clear curse here in verse 14.
Yeah.
Clear curse, and we even see the fulfillment of that curse by the time you get to verse 21.
Yeah.
So, the tone has definitely changed.
No more happy vibes.
No happy vibes,
Yeah. The love story between Jesus and Jerusalem ended pretty quickly.
Yes.
Well, yes, because I mean, how about, and you pick that up, don't you? In verse 18, the chief priests and the teachers of the law heard this and began looking for to kill him. So this cursing of the fig tree and this temple has really gone under their noses, to put it mildly.
We were on our way to the cross yesterday because of the donkey and the lowliness, but now we're really ramping it up. We're taking big strides towards Good Friday.
Big time. Yeah.
They're looking to kill him.
So what is it about this fig tree and the temple?
Well, they must have something to do with each other, right? Because of the way the stories are intertwined. Do fig trees twine? I don't know, but
No,
the stories are intertwined.
continues with the dad jokes.
Yeah, sorry about that. But it seems like the fruitlessness of the fig tree. It only has leaves but no figs. Maybe has something to say to the fruitlessness of the temple.
Yeah.
There's no, just as Jesus will cause the fig tree to wither and die. He's doing a similar thing with the temple.
So the fig trees kind of explains what's going on
Sure.
in the temple.
Yeah.
Sure, I would say so.
And John, if we get to the temple, what's the tone there? What?
Yeah. I mean, I think we can clearly see that the original purpose of the temple is no longer its purpose. He clearly says that you have, where is it? Verse 17. And he taught them and he said, it's not written. Is it not written? My house will be called a house of prayer for all nations, but you have made it a den of robbers. So the purpose of the temple was actually a place where they would be praying for all nations. Now, all nations is now not saying it was specifically only for the people of Israel. It's including the surrounding nations,
Sure.
even those that were in disobedience against God. So what is Jesus basically saying here? Well, his purpose of the temple was actually to reach all nations and these people, the people that were not the people of God.
So probably having set up their merchandise and their stalls and so on in probably the court of the Gentiles, it's become a place of exclusion. There's no room. Like in a literal sense, they've taken up the space of the Gentiles. There's no room for the nations. It's become a place to make money.
Yeah, and the place, as you say, where the Gentiles would be allowed to come, well, it's taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jesus is, I think, slightly angry at that.
Seems quite.
They've replaced prayer for prizes.
Sure, there we go. Dad joke 3.0.
Yeah, and I think you used the word exclusivity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So this is so Jesus would say, what's happening in the temple is fruitless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes it fruitless? I mean, for those sitting at home, by the way, there might be a comment section, I think, on this thing, if you'd like to make comments. And it's a good question to ask. How does this fig tree explain the temple? And what is fruitless about the temple?
There's no Gentile harvest.
There's no Gentile harvest, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's... And so, how do you understand this phrase, a den of robbers?
Maybe partly the exchanging of goods, the ability to make money out of the selling going on in the temple. It's maybe there's something extortionate about it. There's some stealing going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is a stretch, but if you're using the place of God or the place where God had initially set out for the Gentiles to be, and you're not doing that, you're robbing God of what He actually wanted to do.
Sure. Yeah.
So the purpose of the temple was, as He said, it's a house of prayer for all nations, and you're not doing that work. Yeah. You're rather actually exchanging gifts and doing all these things. You're robbing God ultimately,
and excluding the nations.
Yeah.
So let's bring this home. Take home value. What are the things we can learn? The chief priests are furious. The tone has changed. Jesus is seeing fruitlessness in the temple. There's this exclusivity. What does it say to us? What's some of the take-home stuff for a church, for Christians?
Yeah, for Christians, I think many Christians feel that they are not quite in. Many people who really are Christians, in my estimation, I'd want to be humble about my estimation, feel they aren't really in. They aren't really up to it. They haven't pulled their weight. They aren't pulling their weight. And we should remember that Jesus, the Christianity of Jesus, of Good Friday and Holy Week, is one that is wide open, that invites all nations and all kinds of people in. He is not satisfied with this exclusive, narrow high walls kind of thing that's going on. And so it's a wonderful reminder that even the strangest of people, or the most broken of people, or the furthest away, or the most, Jesus is insistent that his house should be for all nations, and so what happens at Easter must be for all people, and all kinds of people.
I mean, that's very encouraging to all of us, that we are welcome, but also a strong message to be welcoming of all.
Sure.
All people. John, I sometimes wonder how easy it is, or the church can sometimes do things which might just exclude some people by some of the things we do. I mean,
For sure.
I mean, there's a strong rebuke here. If the church is not existing for the lost, which is the people that are not believers, which all of us were at some point.
Sure.
And then what work is it doing?
And if
what
the
work
church
is
is
it
not
doing?
open to all people, wherever you come from, whatever your culture,
It's a strong rebuke, very strong.
John,
Very strong
would
rebuke.
you say that one of the things we should get from this passage, we should be a church for all people,
Yes.
even people from Pumalanga,
Yes,
White River region?
Yes, because I mean we're currently in Gauteng, and I'm sure there's a bit of animosity against those from Pumalanga. I'm joking, but yes, even people from Pumalanga, people from back home.
Guys, thank you. I think that's been really helpful.
Yeah.
And again, back home, if you want to make comments, all those you listening, wherever you are, please do. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. That was good.